You're watching Moments with Jill Walker. Today I'm talking about the subject called boundaries. Now don't turn me off because I think you'll enjoy this one. Why am I showing a picture of an invisible fence truck? Well, I'm talking about boundaries, and as most of you know, we got our third dog recently named Claire. Hi, Claire. Let me show you something, and please don't think I'm cruel because I'm going to explain in a minute. See, this collar's loose enough, and I have the technician named Chad's with me, that I can turn this around. I can turn it around so it's loose enough that it is able to turn around on her neck. I take her collar off every single night so she does not get a rash. But I also live on a street pretty close to our yard. I'm not going to zoom in, but we have the flags out. Because if you call the Invisible Fence Company, and we're in East Central Illinois, so it's Chad out of Charleston, Illinois. If anybody would like to do that, I highly recommend it. And again, here's their truck, and even has the toll-free number here on the back if you would like to freeze the frame and copy it down. And here is Chad. Say hi, Chad.
Hi.
And he's our tech guy that was assigned to us. Chad's a nice guy. Why am I talking about boundaries? And why am I showing the truck and the dog? Just like the invisible fence has boundaries for dogs, so do, I'm not saying it right in English. We have boundaries, is what I'm trying to say, with God's word. God has set boundaries for us to obey what he wants us to do. I found some verses, and then I'll give you an illustration of boundaries here with the invisible fence. But it says in 2 Corinthians 6:14, be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. What communion hath light with darkness? 2 Corinthians 6:14. In other words, God has set some boundaries. And I've just given 2 or 3 examples today. He has set boundaries for us, just like this invisible fence is setting boundaries for my dogs so they won't get hit by a car or truck. You know, when I was a little girl, I had a cat that was inside and outside, and I was probably 9 or 10 years old. My dad came to me one day, and he looked very sad. I said, what's wrong, Dad? He said, White Sox, that was the name of our little kitty. White Sox got hit by a fire truck. Well, we all felt very, very sad. I even saw a few tears in my dad's eyes, and he wasn't one to cry easy. And you know, ever since then, it's reminded me to protect our animals. We do this because we love them. Some may think the collar is cruel, but when we get a professional like the Invisible Fence Company, they know what they're doing. And there's certain limits. They can't do it to a dog weighing less than certain pounds or a certain age. But when they're a certain weight and certain age, then they can test them and do it very gently. In fact, this is the 3rd time he's come out. That's how gentle we're being with this little pup that I dearly love. But I want to set boundaries for her so she won't get out in the street and get hit. God is setting boundaries for us so we won't do things that are wrong and would grieve him, or possibly even cause us to lose rewards when we do get to heaven and grieve him. We want to hear God say, well done, thou good and faithful servant, don't we? Proverbs 15:1 says, a soft answer turneth away wrath, but grievous words stir up anger. You see, he's setting boundaries in that verse, saying, be careful what you say. When you get angry, be very careful what you say. I'm glad that verse is in the Bible that says, be ye angry and sin not. Jesus was angry when he drove the money changers out of the temple, wasn't he? But he still used self-control. And one last verse of setting boundaries, and I could go on, but I don't want to. I want to keep this short today. But it's in Matthew 5:28. And Matthew 5:28 talks about how, we can even apply it to women, how we should not look upon somebody with lust. And they use the example of a man looking upon a woman with lust. He's already committed adultery in his heart. God's setting boundaries for us to warn us so he can help us draw closer to him and things would go well for us. I'm setting boundaries for this dog because I love her dearly and I want to protect her. Now, here is Claire, and what I do, hopefully twice a day, is I go near here, and she's already kind of got the idea. She's not going to, well, and then she wants to lay on the grass. Come on, Claire. Come on, let's go, girl. Come on. Come on. Girl, come on. Come on, girl. Come on. Okay. Come here, girl. Okay, she's already getting wore out from this training. Sometimes you might feel like, oh, please, Lord, please give me a break. She's getting a little wore out, but we were doing this before the taping, and as I was getting closer to the flags, she felt a little buzz. It's not like putting your hand in an electrical outlet. It's not cruel. It's not at all, or I wouldn't do it. I love this dog dearly. But it's given her a reaction thinking, oh man, I don't like that. I'm gonna get away from here. And that's teaching her not to cross the boundary line, because it's gonna keep her safe and help her to stay in the boundary so she won't get hit by a car. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this today. And before we go, I want to talk to Chad. So come here, Chad, over here, and tell us why boundaries are so important for a dog besides it not getting hit.
Boundary keeps them safe, let them enjoy their yard however they want to, and lets you enjoy your yard with your dog.
That's right, that's right. So how many times have you come out to you've come to my house 3 times now to get this right, but you've come more than that to other people's house?
Oh yeah, 4, 5, 6 times. Just keep working with them, figure it out.
So you'll take a dog large or small, and usually what, about 2 weeks they learn, or even sooner?
Yep, usually takes about 2 weeks.
How long does it take us to learn about God's word and obey him? I think sometimes it takes longer than 2 weeks though, doesn't it? Yeah.
Some of them do, some of them do.
Yeah, well, thanks so much, Chad, for coming on Moments with Jill Walker. And you know, you've been watching Moments with Jill Walker. God bless you today.